Russiagate, story's been out already for a while. It's not like we haven't known when the dossier was paid for, $35 million, Hillary Clinton. We've all read it. We've seen the story. That's not news. Now, Tulsi Gabbard, who is running DNI, is coming out and saying, hey, here's what we're going to be doing. And they're going after Schiff. They're going after Hillary. Here's President Trump today, just 5 hours ago. Go ahead, Rob.
I had to go through the Russia hoax. And it was a strain on the relationship. I actually told them, I said, they got this phony investigation going on, Russia, totally phony, created by Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff, and Hillary Clinton and the whole group of them. And it made it very dangerous for our country because I was unable to really deal with Russia the way we should have been. I'm looking at Pam because I hope something's going to be done about it. These people put our country at great danger. And Adam Schiff, it was all made up. It was a hoax. The Mueller report came out. They all hated me. They had 18 Trump haters. And they said I did nothing wrong. They couldn't believe, they couldn't find anything after years of investigation. It was all a hoax. It was a hoax created by the Democrats, but in particular Schiff and Crooked Hillary, the whole group.
Let me pause it right there.
And
so what do you think is going to happen here? You think, at this point, people know. Right? Obama knew all along. We got the reports that shows that Obama knew this was going on and he kind of looked the other way and he allowed it to happen. What level of accountability do you think will happen here?
This is tricky. So, unfortunately, we are dealing with an issue that will always have information that's confidential, that's classified. We're not ever going to know what they know. We're not going to know what's being leaked that isn't a controlled leak. We're not going to know what's real information versus what's spun information. So because we'll never know, it does two useful things for the current administration. First, it distracts us from whatever else we might be focusing on. And then second, it continues to drive this bipartisan divide, which is going to be very important going into the midterms. So there's lots of benefits from talking about something, even though you and I can't reasonably expect any significant outcome to come of it. The second thing it does is that it allows this question about whether or not a president, former or current, can be held accountable for their actions, for their words, for their conspiracies. And that's, to put a fine point on it, I don't think a president will ever be held accountable for what they did or didn't do right or wrong, because the office of the president is so representative of freedom around the world that to actually put a president behind bars, to hold them in contempt, would be something that basically says, hey, we're America, we made a mistake. We can't do that on the world stage.
But they did it to him, didn't they? They gave him a mugshot, president. What president's ever had a mugshot?
They tried. They certainly tried with Donald Trump. And the vote of the people on two separate elections 4 years apart kind of demonstrated the power of the office of the president.
If Trump didn't flip those three Supreme Court justices, and it was the other way around, 6-3, when they voted for him not to be able to be on the ballot in Colorado, if they would have voted the other way and said, yeah, we're going to remove him from ballot in Colorado, and 5 other states follow, he's not winning. Kamala or Biden is the president today.
Right.
And he would have been in jail, or they would have done anything and everything in their power to say that he was a criminal. They would have done that. So we got very close.
Oh, yeah.
Without the Supreme Court, we're there.
It's at its core, you're right, but there's also other levels that have to, essentially other dominoes that are smaller dominoes that also have to fall into place. And we don't really know how any of that would turn out. But I don't pay a lot of attention to these internal divisive politics, because it really is, it's a page out of the political playbook to distract the American people.
The masses.
It's a tool to distract the masses. It's also a tool to distract your adversaries, because all of the Russian intelligence services that are watching open source collection from the United States, they're spending time and money wondering what's going to happen next, instead of collecting meaningful intelligence on what the true plans and intentions are of the United States in Mexico, with trade tariffs, with rare earth minerals, right? So we want to waste our enemies' time. We didn't invent this. We borrowed this skill from the USSR. The USSR literally had a playbook that said that they would let their politicians pontificate in multiple hour-long meetings because they knew that it would distract the Americans.
Got it. So you don't think there's anything there, and
Not that
Trump may be doing something to play everybody else into going in and seeing what's going to happen. What's that? Rudy Giuliani says Obama will invoke presidential immunity over the Russia hoax investigation, but here's one little problem that could lead to an indictment. You're not immune from for the rest of your life as a president. Obama becomes a problem because he will invoke presidential immunity. Where's this, Rob? Is this a clip from who?
It is. Here it is.
What is this just now?
August 10th.
Okay, so yesterday, a couple of days ago. Let's see it.
Becomes a problem because he will invoke presidential immunity. The decision the Supreme Court made that helped Trump. The acts are kind of different, but there's a problem for Obama.
CIA believes that all people are born with a spy secret superpower. For some people, that means they can win deals. For others, they can spot liars. Some can even seduce lovers. I built a free 3-minute test to help reveal to you exactly what your secret hidden superpower is. All you have to do is click on the link in the description below, take the test, and start using your spy superpower to stay ahead of 99% of people.
It continues after he's president. So starting on January 1st, 2017, any participation of him in the conspiracy is not immune. You're not immune for the rest of your life as president. So he'll be immune if whatever allegations against him are contained within his presidency. But if he's helping to assist over that 3-year period that they push Russian collusion into 2017 and 2018, then he's, of course, he could be indicted for that. Obama becomes a problem.
Do you agree with him?
So I agree with him on a legal basis. However, the operative term that he used was conspiracy. I think if there's anything we all learned from the Diddy investigation, it's that the Department of Justice can't do shit to prove a conspiracy. Because they couldn't pin conspiracy on Diddy. They failed to pin conspiracy on multiple players because it's very hard to prove conspiracy. So whether or not there was a conspiracy, whether or not that is backed up with evidence, it's a completely different thing that our Department of Justice can bring the talent and the team together to be able to make a true conviction of conspiracy.
So you don't see much happening here.
I see us getting distracted, man. Yeah. I see a lot of us being distracted. I see a lot of bifurcation of politics. And I want to correct one thing. I don't think it's Trump doing it. I don't think it's Trump sitting in the Oval Office saying, you know what we need to do, guys? We need to distract America. I think it's his PR department. I think it's the people who are trying to make sure that the Republicans are still in a good position for the midterms. I think there's all sorts of advisors who are like, we need to do something to get the eyes and ears and get all the clicks off of.
But a strategic way of telling Trump to protect him, or because somebody else that's the establishment is telling the PR people to tell the president to say this because they want to distract others. Like, is it direct or indirect?
It's direct.
Oh, it's direct. So he knows that it's not a negative. His own teammates are not doing this to distract him.
Correct.
Okay, so it's not a negative thing.
It's not a negative
thing.
Yeah, it's just, and it's not a Trump trying to misinform the United States.
Okay, so let me ask you this. As somebody that is in this world where you study deception and you know what's going on because you've been a part of it as a CIA officer, not been a part of it, but like you're in it and you're seeing what they're saying. They're like, no, that's bullshit. It's actually not what we're working on. What is worth paying attention to today?
So what you want to watch is what Donald Trump is able to do that delivers on his campaign promises. And what is he able to do that makes a demonstrable improvement in the lives of the average American? Because that's going to be what we carry with us into the midterm. And the midterm is going to be critically important because if Donald Trump wants to continue to make progress, he needs as much control to be Republican held in the Congress as possible at the midterm. So that's the stuff that we need to pay attention to. His foreign policy ambitions are all over the map right now because these strongmen leaders are all jockeying for control. Whether it's Netanyahu or whether it's Putin or whether it's Xi Jinping, they're all manipulating and jockeying in different regions. Europe is kind of tits up In the last 2 years, you've got 3 major economies all dissolving their parliament, all going through a no confidence vote in France, in Germany, in Portugal. You've got Hungary and Bulgaria supporting Russia. You've got Slovakia having a pro-Russian president brought in. Like, Europe's in chaos. So foreign policy is going to be something very, and it's too complex for the average person to understand. It's not Trump's priority, just like he told you here. Why would I worry about Iran? So how does he make domestic wins? That's what he and that's what the party behind him want to see. Everything else is just something to fill the 24-hour news cycle.